Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. Well, we don't have a guest for tonight, so guess what? It's me again. Ain't that beautiful? All right. So, as I've said many times before, we'll keep pushing. We're not worried about numbers. God makes numbers count. We're not worried about who chime in to see. It's okay. I'm okay with that. Um, it's all about who is here, and that is you. And make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. Make sure you subscribe to the social media outlet. That's toawomansheart.org. Network, brand your business, and everything. So tonight, I put up how do you present yourself? And this is straight from the heart. So, as you know, we always start with a definition. So, I chose the word presentation. And presentation, the noun is the giving of something to someone, presenting, giving, a speech or talk in which a new product, idea, or piece of work is shown and explained to an audience. There is listed six different types of presentation. One is informative, one is instructive, one is persuasive, one is motivational, one is decision making, one is progress. So I went on a little bit further. Personal presentation means the way you present yourself in everyday situations. And I picked this topic of how do you present yourself for a reason. As we look around and we see women on TV, we see women in magazines that model, and sometimes in their presentation of how they look, some of us like to mimic what they look like. Um, an example is if you see a woman with full breast and you don't have any, so you feel like you need to obtain bigger boobs, or maybe your lips are not full as you would like them to be. So, because of what you see on TV or what you see in a magazine, you want to have full lips. And sometimes when we, as women, decide to mimic other women, our presentation get a little thrown off. Um, we end up um, dressing a certain type of way that's not appealing, and then when somebody look at us in that aspect of how they see us, they kind to draw a conclusion of what type of woman we are by the way we are presenting ourselves. Another way of presentation is by the way we speak to somebody. So if you're not speaking with clarity, if you're speaking with jumbled words and you're not speaking, or um, you're speaking with slang, that's a form of presentation as well. Sometimes when we present ourselves a certain way, and we see this on the social media outlets, um, we see when you're driving your car, the presentation of women. And I know even when I'm driving and I see certain things, I'm like, okay, wow, why would they put that on? So we have fashion phases, right? The spandex phase, the legging phase, the t-shirts, the belly tops, and every outfit is not meant for everybody. If you are a certain size, if you are a certain shape, there are certain things that we should not wear, period, because they do not complement us or our bodies. And as soon as we get a side eye, soon as we get somebody who says, why she got that on, then we get in our feelings. But we pass the mirror every day. We pass it. And when I'm driving, when I'm in the store, whether I'm grocery shopping or shopping, and I'm looking like, why? What is it with us that we feel that we have to advertise so much? And do we realize that what we put on is like a marketing? We're marketing billboard. We're marketing who we are as an individual. We're marketing who we are as a woman. We are telling people without even speaking, in some people's perception, what kind of person we are, without people even knowing us personally. And so, if you look on social media, all the platforms, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube, um, you see we as women present everything. We leave nothing to the imagination. Nothing. We present everything. We got our boobs out, we got our butt out, we got our belly out, um, booty shorts with booty hanging from under the shorts, boobs overflowing, clothes that's so tight, leggings that you wear, you can see if you're wearing a thong, if you're wearing panties, what color is the panties, where they start and where they stop at. And then when somebody says something to us the wrong way, we get mad. But this is how we're presenting ourselves to others who see us. So when you get up in the morning and you dress yourself, you're actually still marketing yourself. And one of the girls today, she was telling me she went to a funeral today, and she was saying how the funeral was at a church and how some of the women came in there with clothes that you can see through, uh, skirts that was too short to be worn, shorts, booty shorts in church. Um, and I thought to myself, where did we go left with the way we present ourselves? Now, let me make this statement. If you ask a man what is more attractive, is it more attractive to show all your goods, or is it more attractive to leave something to the imagination? And if you get the answer that he said is more attractive to see leave something to the imagination, then why did we reveal all our goods? And some of the clothes that we wear in our presentation, we might as well walk outside with our bra and panties on. Period. Is it something that's within us that we're looking for something? We're looking for some validation. We're looking for some approval. We're looking for some acceptance because we're dressing the way we're dressing? Is it not important for somebody to get to know who you are as an individual without judging you by the way you dress? Don't you think it's better for someone to know your qualities, to know your likes and your dislikes, to know you as an individual versus looking at you by what you're presenting? Because as the older people would say back in the days, the way some of these young ladies and some of these older women who's trying to be young dress and present themselves, they would call that something else. And you know what they would call it. Now we get offensive very quick when we address certain topics, because if you are solid, if you are assured of who you are and whose you are, you don't have to impress nobody. You don't have to gain anyone's attention. by the way you're presenting yourself in your dress. You don't have to let your boobs spill over. You don't have to let your butt spill out. You don't have to do that. And I would think that you would want somebody to look at you in a different light versus what you present. Because let's be realistic, men are visual, and we know this. Women are emotional. We know this. And so when you're dating or when you're trying to gain the attention of someone, do you think that dressing, that you present all your valuable possessions, will get you what you need and what you want? Or do you think dressing that leaves something to the imagination will get you what you want? Now, there's a difference in between dressing sexy and slutty. Let's be realistic. There's a difference in dressing modest and dressing um, like you're about to go on somebody's corner. Seriously. And you have to be your best self. You can't be anybody else. We have, we're made differently. And I'm saying all this because a lot of us, the way we present ourselves, because we don't like who we are. We don't like what we see in the mirror. We don't like it. And so we feel like if we imitate somebody else, if we make ourselves try to look like somebody else or be like somebody else, in a sense, we're thinking that people will accept us. But it's more than your outside appearance, what you put on. It's more than that. It's what's on the inside that really counts. You can wear a baggy pair of jeans, you can wear a raggedy t-shirt, and people still won't like you. They won't. And even if you had on a pair of baggy pants and a raggedy t-shirt, people still will judge you. They will judge you. So let's not get hung up on what we wear that we think defines who we are, because it doesn't. I look through Instagram and I tell you, I see um, the swimsuits, and I've seen some swimsuits that's really cut up. And then when somebody responds to the individual, why are you presenting yourself in that way? Then people get angry. But why do you get angry? Is it necessary for us to advertise every aspect of what we have? Is that necessary? And if you feel it is, so why do you feel that way? Why? I see on TikTok, got a relative on TikTok, a nice bra and panty set, and you feel the need to advertise that on social media. Now, what you're setting yourself up for is to be labeled, because that's what's going to happen. You're setting yourself up to be labeled. You're setting yourself up for somebody to think that you're just a sexual object to them. They're not looking at you as an individual. They're looking at what you're presenting. So you're presenting. So we have to understand. Ain't no sense of sugarcoating it and try to water down the conversation. This is real conversation. You're presenting. I'm easy. You're presenting. Don't think I have nothing up here. Just look at what I'm presenting to you, and that's a turnoff. The same way it's a turnoff if a man send you a picture of his body parts. Do you think that's something that's appealing to you? Is that the first thing that you want to see? Because it's not the first thing I want to see. So why do we feel that we have to water ourselves down to make somebody else like us when they should appreciate you for who you are? I'm not understanding that. So can somebody help me understand? I'm not understanding. So somebody said you can recognize a police person by their uniform. You can recognize a medical professional by their uniform. What uniform are we presenting when we go out in public? And that's facts. See, we want to distinct everybody else, but we're not standing out ourselves. What makes us different than anybody else? If I got my belly out, if I got my booty out, if I got my titties out, what makes me stand out? If there's a nice gentleman that I want to gain his attention. So you got three women. Let's do it this way. You got three women. One woman got on a mini skirt. If she bent over, you see all the way up to Africa from the backside. If she bent over, it's going down into the waters because everything inside is going to spill over. Say now that's the first young lady. So the next young lady standing next to her, she got on a spandex dress, right? It is so snug, it's so tight. You can tell she don't have a bra. You can tell she have on a thong. Then there's a third young lady that's standing next to her. She have on leggings, but the leggings is so thin you can see her polka dot panties. Then there's a fourth young lady. She's got on booty shorts and a belly top. Then there's a fifth young lady. She got on a cute pair of jeans, a cute top, and some heels. Now, which one of those, out of those five ladies, who will get his attention first? Who will get his attention? Because I guarantee you, the other four women is not going to gain his attention because he's already developed in his mind because of your presentation what he's thinking, what type of woman you are. Even though you may not be that woman, you may not be her, but in his mind, he's forming that. And if he was to just say, okay, forget it, I'm gonna try and take you home to his mama, when she see you, she already gonna dissect who you are by the way you're presenting yourself. And so that's the difference. You can still be sexy. You can still present yourself in a ladylike manner by dressing accordingly. We don't have to reveal everything. We don't have to follow what we see on social media. We don't have to follow what we see in reality TV shows. You know why? Because they're getting paid. What check are you getting by dressing the way you're doing? And then if the man should say, he want to talk to you, I bet you after he start talking to you, the first thing he talk about is sex. He's going straight to the sexual conversation because in his mind, that's what you're presenting. I'm easy. I don't want nothing. I'm a sex object. And so we get mad when we hear the B word. We get mad when we're called out our name. And we get mad when they tell us about ourselves. And, men talk, women talk. You walk in the room and you got on a certain outfit that a whole bunch of women is looking at you like, why she got that on? Conversation is being had. Let's be realistic. And you can feel the eyes peeling at you. Why do we feel like we have to conform to what somebody else does? Why can't we be an individual? Why can't we be our own best selves? I don't have to dress like a hooker because somebody else dressed like one. I don't. I don't feel like I have to share or expose all my goods because somebody else exposing theirs. You are a marketing tool. You are a walking billboard. If you go into an interview with a short skirt and a top that's cropped, do you think they are even going to consider talking to you for employment? Do you? So why do we do the things that we do? And why do we think that how we present ourselves is okay? But it goes back to how some of us are being raised. It really does. Because when I was coming up, there was just certain things that we were not allowed to wear. And my great aunt, she would just tell you when it was too short, and she said you can see your east and your west. She would call them coochie cutters. Now, where you going with that on? Because don't nobody go out like that but hoes and prostitutes. And that's exactly what she would say. Now, is it harsh? Yeah. But is it the truth? It is the truth. Then we teach our daughters to do just like that. Confidence is not in what you wear. Self esteem is not in the clothes that you wear. Your strength is not in the clothes that you wear. It's not. Your confidence comes from you. Your self esteem comes from you. It's not in the clothes that you wear. You can dress up in $2,000 outfit, have no confidence, have no self esteem, and have no strength, no power, know nothing about yourself at all. So it's not in the clothes that you wear. That's all they are. It's clothes. You are the person who makes who you are. But a lot of us spend our time because we don't know which way we want to go, stepping and trying to walk in somebody else's shoes instead of walking in our own. And a lot of it is because we want to be accepted. So I'm going to do anything. I'm going to adapt to the people I hang around to try to appease them, to make them like me, make them love me. But if they got to like or love you by what you wear, how you kiss up to them, that's not the kind of people you need to be around. It's not. You need to be able to stand out from the crowd, not blend into the crowd. But right now, we as women, let's be honest, a lot of us are blending into the crowd. We're trying to do everything we see that these individuals do on TV. And you don't know the reasons why. And the funny part to all this, later on down the line, even the best of individuals that dress the way they do, that present themselves the way they do, they come back later on and they tell you that I did this because I had low self-esteem. I did this because I didn't have no confidence. I did this because I didn't believe in myself. So they feel like dressing themselves on the outside the way they did was covering up their imperfections on the inside. So if they dressed a certain way and presented themselves a certain way, nobody would see their flaws. Nobody would see their imperfections. But we have to learn to walk in our truth. We have to learn to walk in our truth. We can't be anybody else except for ourselves. That's it and that's all. Will I love you any less because you don't dress like a hoochie mama? No, it's not about your clothes. I'm loving you for you, not what you have on. Now, I want you to dress accordingly, and I want you to present yourself in a way that people will respect you and that you will feel that respect. Because right now, what we're seeing outside on these here streets, I'm sorry to say, I just shake my head sometimes. I shake my head because it doesn't make sense. And even when you can see your underwear, I wonder, did you pass the mirror today? What is it about you that you feel that you have to reveal so much of yourself in your presentation? Are you looking for something you don't know how to get? You don't know what you lost, how to find it? Why? Why? And why do we feel that we have to mesh or fit in with others? What happened to being a unique individual? What happened to creating your own style? What happened to that? You can't start your own trend. You have to follow in everything somebody else does. And let me say this too, because I'm seeing this a lot as well. You think walking around with name brand clothes is going to make you a better person? Nope. You're just a label hoe. For real. It's not going to make you any better because it's name brand. Doesn't make you any better. And you don't have to advertise. See, for me, when I see a woman that's pushing that hard to show what she have, to show her shape, to show that, okay, I bought name brand Louis Vuitton, I bought some red bottoms, I bought some Gucci, I bought whatever it is that you're stuck on the name brand, and you think by you presenting, okay, I got this. What does that really tell about you? What does that say about you as an individual? Really, what does it say about you? Because it doesn't speak that much to who you are. All it says to anybody that's standing from the outside looking in is that you're bragging that you're able to afford those things, because you don't have to advertise that. When people see you, they will see you. I see a lot of people on social media bragging about what they have, showing and presenting, their attire from the top of their head to the sole of their feet. But who does that help? It doesn't help me. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of people who push that kind of advertising are looking for more than just presenting what they are able to buy. And in reality, if you want to go a little step further, are you really able to afford it? Because a lot of people go in debt pretending and presenting something that they're not. You can't pay your rent, you can't pay your car note, you're not making your bills because you're too busy presenting a false person. You're too busy trying to please somebody else who's not worth pleasing. You're too busy presenting and pretending to be something that you're not. That's a job within itself, and a job that you should think about letting it go. If a person does not love you or like you for who you are, then say bye bye. Let them go and move on. Because real, genuine people love you and like you for who you are with all your flaws. It's not about what you can afford to buy, it's not about how you present yourself on the outside to be something that you're not on the inside. No, I'm loving you for who you are. We have to look beyond the exterior and look at the interior. We're so busy looking at the outside that we don't even pay attention to what's going on the inside. And then when you do that, you start building false relationships. They're not real. They're not real. And then you find out they don't last. They're not solid because we look at the presentation from the outside. We're looking at everything at the window. It's like, again, looking at what's window dressing. Window dressing, the presentation of a window is beautiful. It's beautiful. And the presentation of window dressing for women will be the very thing that will draw you in to purchase product. But like I've said in other streams, take off everything that's presented on the outside and then take a close look at that mannequin. And you will see nicks, you will see grooves out, you will see cracking, you will see scarring, you will see imperfections, you will see discoloration, you will see all that. So what we presenting on the out, we can dress up the outside and present it very well. We can. It's like presenting a plate full of food. Everything is positioned in its proper place, and it looks good. It looks good until you stick your fork in it. Then you find out the meat is undone. Then you find out the greens are not totally cooked. Then you find out that the other portion of the plate, macaroni and cheese, is too dry. It has dried out. So the presentation is good, but once you get beyond what you see, then what? Then what? See, we can present ourselves all day long of what we want people to think or believe who we are on the outside. but who are we really on the inside is the question. So I'm asking you, ladies, how do you present yourself? How do you present yourself? And in your presentation, what message are you sending? And do you like the feedback that you get from how you present yourself? Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest. Is it so hard for us to stand out from everybody else? And some of us go along with all the trends, and they're not befitting to us. They're not. My mom always say, you can't wear everything. You can't do everything what everybody else do because it's not for you. I would never glue my lace front down on my head, even though a lot of people do it. Presentation. I would never go outside knowing that I have a spare tire around my waist with a belly top on to fit in with everybody else. I'm not going to present myself in that fashion. I respect me enough to think enough of me to present myself better than that. And that's all I'm saying. These cat suits are good. But in wearing the cat suit, what does it say? Okay, I got a big booty. I got a nice shape. Do you have to show it? Nope. And you can show it. There's a way to show it. But again, we have to understand that we are a walking billboard and people read us every day. And in being that walking billboard, what does your billboard say? How does it describe you as a woman? Is it a good description? Is it a bad description? Are you teetering between the two? And some naughtiness should be left behind closed doors for your husband. I mean, we'll come out in the street. Some women will present themselves in the street amongst other people, and they won't even be that sexy at home with their husband. And that don't make sense. That's the person to whom you should be impressing the most is your man. And some things should be left behind closed doors. I don't need to see your booty. I don't need to see the darkness between your thighs. I don't need to see your breasts spilling, over in your top half. I don't need to see you with a belly top on and you look like you should have been wrapped with ace band-aids 5 times to try to conceal all the stuff that's spilling over. Your belly is meeting your knees. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see you with a tight spandex dress and when you look at you from behind, look like somebody may shoot you in the back with a BB gun. I don't need to see that. I don't. And we dress up. And I'm going to say this because I'm going to keep it 100. I've seen women dressed to the kneel to the nine. And when you look at their outfit is nice. Now they dress nice, got a cute top, a cute pair of pants, cute dress, and cute shoes. But baby, when they raise up them feet, look like they've been walking down south in a roll full of dirt. Now, how can you present yourself in a manner that you're dressed, you all put together, makeup, hair, and everything, smell good, and your feet is horrible? I don't understand. And there are some men who look at these things. I know one particular, he looks at women's toes. I'm not one who show my feet like that because I think my feet is ugly. So I'm not going to present my feet like that. But I see some women out here, they present their feet. They have chip polish on their toe, still dressed nice. That speaks. That's a walking billboard. Or their feet has mountain hills and valleys, and they okay with that with their toes. I'm not doing it. And I've been told that my feet not that bad, but I feel that they are not the best thing in the world. So I'm not going to reveal that part of me. I'm not. But there are those who out here does. And people look at all that too. It's not, and We pay all this money for weave to put in our hair. Weave is only meant to be placed in your hair for a certain amount of time. We'll still come out with a nice outfit and tracks is raised up, hair is matted. That's presenting yourself. So how can you be put together from your neck down to your ankles and the top of your head is a mess? Or you wearing wigs that you should have thrown in the garbage 2 years ago. That's presenting yourself in a certain fashion. And then when people comment, we get offended. We get offended. But again, you pass a mirror every time you walk out the house. You walk out the house. So I'm going to finish up and say this. Know that you're a walking billboard. Stop complying or being like somebody else. Be your own self. Be yourself. The best person you can be. Time to look at some things. These are conversations that we want to bypass um, and all this stuff, but it needs to be had. When we do certain things, what are we really looking for? When we dress a certain way, are we looking for acceptance? Do we have low self esteem? We don't have no confidence. Somebody has broken us in some form of fashion, so we feel like we dress a certain way, it will make us feel better. There was a show called Marrying Millions, and the lady was pushing the guy to whom she was talking to introduce um, her to his parents. And because she used to be a big girl, she lost a lot of weight. And so she felt like that every time she should go out, she should wear something that was provocative. Now, first impressions are very important, whether you realize it or not, and they're long lasting impressions. And so finally, the guy decided to introduce her to his mother. And she came downstairs and he asked her, "Are you going to wear this? I don't think you should wear this." She's like, "Well, what's wrong with it?" And so she came downstairs with a dress that was clinging and all her boobs were out to meet this man's mother. And in the middle of conversation, not only did the mom draw a conclusion by the way she presented herself, but when she opened her mouth to present her words in conversation, she told the mother, "Oh, I'm not giving him none of this as of yet. He's gonna have to work for it." Now, if you are you ask this man to introduce you to his mother, and you go in presenting yourself in that way, what do you think the mom is going to think of you? She's not going to think highly of you. She's going to think that you should let her go and find you somebody who got some common sense to come down here and dress at least appropriately, with the woman's husband sitting on the side. And then this is your first time meeting the woman, and then you having sexual conversation with the mother that was not appropriate to have at the table. So we get mad when we get the responses that we get, but our presentation is wrong. If you present somebody on a garbage can top, what do you expect? You're going to get the response that you're going to get. So I'm saying, for those women who present yourselves on a garbage can top, that's what you're going to get. Those are the responses you're going to get. Present yourself in the proper fashion accordingly, and to the environment in which you're going into. You cannot wear everything everywhere. You can't, especially when you're meeting somebody's mother, when you're going to a job interview. Let's be distinctive for ourselves. Again, like the statement was made. Police is identified with a uniform. Nurses are identified with a uniform. Doctors are identified with a uniform. Dentists are identified with a uniform. Ushers in the church and theater environments are identified with a uniform. Security officers are identified with a uniform. Why are we not identifying ourselves? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Your billboard speaks volumes. And you can't get mad when you get the responses that you get. Okay? All right. That's it. On replay, you can leave your comments. Let me know. Um, yeah, you may not like it, but it's true. And we need to go back to the basics because we have fell off the wagon for real. And some styles we need to just throw away because they are ridiculous. They are horrible. But that's just my opinion, my thought process. People are going to do what they want to do, how they want to do it. But understand the response that you get, just swallow it. Just swallow it. All right. Make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you take somebody over to awomansheart.org. It's a social media outlet for women specifically only. Brand your business, network, share your life moments. Go to toawomansheart.com and purchase some t-shirts. Buy a t-shirt. Just buy one. That's all I'm asking. Go to levelforyou.com and purchase something. I want to be able to help single women and women of domestic violence. We will jump on all kinds of things. When the girl got the glue stuck in her head, we went and donated out the wazoo. But when you ask for just general help, it seems like we all get silent. We seem like our ears are clogged, and we seem like, huh? What did you say? Like y'all don't understand English. I'm not begging. I'm not complaining. I'm not upset. God gonna do what He do. I just put it out there. All right. Y'all have a good one until we talk again.